Hey guys, this is Shantanami. Welcome back to our channel from the Department of Information Science and Engineering in 6th semester from the College of Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. From the Today we are discussing the subject called as software testing, and the topic is the traditional view of the testing levels. Please do watch the complete video and like it and share it and subscribe. If you're not willing to subscribe also, that's okay, fine. Try to watch the complete video. Based on your support, they're gonna highlight the marks for us. Introduction. The traditional model of the software development is the waterfall model, which draws the V in. As a sweep, the information produced in the one of the development phases contribute the basic of the test cases identification at this level. Nothing is controversial here. We certainly would hope that the system test cases are somehow the correlated with the requirement specification and that unit test cases are derived from the detailed design of the unit and to observation. There is a clear prescription of functional test here, and there is a implies of a bottom-up test order, and the traditional view of the test level is hierarchical approach to software testing, where the testing activities are divided into different levels based on the scope and the purpose of the testings. Testing levels. First one is unit testing, second one is the integration testing, third one is system testing, and the fourth one is acceptance testing. We'll be discussing one by one. Unit testing. It is a lowest level of testing, the focusing on the testing individual components or units of the code in the isolation. Unit testing verify the correctness specific function methods or models. Integration testing. This level of testing aims to test the integration between the different components or units of code. It ensures that the integrated system function are expected and that components works well together. System testing. System testing involves the testing the entire system as a whole, including all the integrated components. It verifies that the system meets the specific requirements and the function correctly in the different scenarios. Acceptance testing. Acceptance testing is the performance to determine whether the system meets the business requirements and is acceptable for the delivery to end users. It is often carried out by the stakeholder or end users to ensure that the system aligns with the expectations. Unit testing. This testing level involves a combination of all the components that makes up the software testing everything as whole instead of individual as done during the unit testing. First, the integrated codes could have been written by different developers and need to be tested to ensure this correctness by testing. We could identify and the correct interworking defects. Simultaneously operation defects, parallel operation defects, and so on. For example, we could verify the following condition from the checklist were met. It communication between the system and carries out correctly. Second one is if the linked document can be run smoothly on all platforms. Whether the security specification works during the communication between the system. And the fourth one is whether the software can be withstand network breakdowns between the web server and the app server. Integration testing. There are the four main approaches we use to carry out integration testing for our clients. That includes one is the top-down integration testing. The rule of the thumb when applying the top-down approaches is testing higher units before checking the lower levels. In another words, the performance has to test from the top to bottom. Bottom-up integration testing. On the other hand, in the bottom-up integration testing, the performance testing in opposite direction from the bottom to top. You ultimately try the lower units and step by step the step up with the higher components. Big Bang integration testing. Big Bang integration testing refers to when all the elements are tested concurrently in the single phase. The Big Bang model is also applicable when the validating small applications. With the top-down and the bottom-up model can be bypassed. The models are all programmed and combined and tested together. Mixed integration testing. Mixed integration testing or the sandwiched integration testing. Available models are being tested, whether the belonging to high or low code lines. This means that the no priority is given to either components by the performance. And responsiveness model are simulated to determine how well the available code will be work when the coding is completed and combined. System testing. This is the last testing. The system testing has to do with verifying the requirements operations of the software and its compatibility with the operating system. In the other words, we test both the technicals and the business logical of the software. We run the functional testing to check what the various functions of the system do, and non-functional tests to check how those functions works. The system test helps to determine how the compatible the software is with the operating system for which it has been designed. System testing exposes the such errors and developers can detect and correct them before they are launched. The system testing, in addition, how good the design of the software is. The internal code can be work accurately, but outward the design might have some operational issues. This is why the system testing is essential, and so all the design abnormalities can be detected and corrected. System testing helps to identify any abnormal behavior and the helps organization to outline it. And the software-based system specification failures to gather these requirements can be leads to the scope creep. This is also means that the project can acquire the more cost and the longer duration and the need for the extra resources. The system too will not live up to its promise of delivering business value of your organization. Acceptance testing. This levels of software testing is similar to the system testing, but here the test is carried out by some selected end users. This is only software testing stages that are carried out by all users. This stage determines if the software is finally ready to launch to general public. Here are the two acceptance testing. One is alpha testing, another one is beta testing. When come to the point of alpha testing, alpha testing is carried out by the selecting the users, but together with the internal team of developers who control the testing environment and try to mimic realistic conditions during the testing. Here, the selected users are given password or access keys that will allows them to log in and or log in and log out both of the developers of the platform without any headers or the errors to use. And the test to develop and the software application during the alpha testing and the minor errors can be still be found and fixed. Beta testing. Beta testing is carried out by the selecting the users on their own devices and operating system. Here, the finished software is sent to the selector users to use it and test it over the while before giving their various feedback. At this beta level, the software expected to void the defect, void of ticket, and the run perfectly and meet the user's needs. Thank you.